energy flows where attention goes. And yet, if energy flows where attention goes, do we have enough bandwidth to put our attention everywhere that we wish to create an improved life, a bigger, more expansive life? Do we have the capacity to attend to all the things that we are currently desiring? Hi, I'm Amira Alvarez. I am the founder and CEO of The Unstoppable Woman, and welcome to this podcast. Thank you for being a loyal listener. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much for doing that, and please subscribe and make this your home on the internet. Okay, so let's dive into this. I have lots of thoughts on this. So fundamentally, what I want to talk about here is time, because I think when we pose the question, do I have enough bandwidth to put my attention in all these different places? Maybe you have the desire to continue to grow your already great business. Maybe you have the desire to grow your career. Maybe you want to put your attention into your kids, your family. Maybe you want to really look at your health, your physique, your relationships, relationship with self, relationship with others. Maybe it's intimacy. Maybe it's a hotter sex life. There's so many places that we're looking, I'd like more here. Maybe it's your home. Like, I was just taking a walk. I have a fabulous freaking home. And the day before, I was dreaming, fantasizing, planning out ideas with my man about, we could do this with the backyard. We could do this with the furniture, right? Like, I was deep into that creative mode on those desires. And then the next day I'm walking through a neighborhood. I'm like, ooh, this is beautiful. I'd love to live here. Let's make that happen, and what that would look like. So there's always more that we are desiring. There's always more. There's nothing wrong with that. But where are you going to put your attention? And when you ask that question, inherent in it is this question about time. So let's look at what happens with time. So oftentimes we think that there is time scarcity, like there's not enough time. And yet everyone has the same amount of time in a day. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Yet some people create empires. Some people create lives that are incredibly full of what they determine to be successful. And some people don't create the success that they want in their lives. Or they've created some, but not the entirety, not the breadth and the depth. And they turn and say, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to put my attention on all these areas of my life. But key concept here, we create time by the decisions we make, by the choices we make. So we have habits. We have habits of living, habits of thought, and we think that that is our only option, but we actually have choice here. So sometimes there are large choices to make, like, do I meditate or watch Netflix, right? That would be a medium-sized choice. Maybe it's, do I go to the event and invest in myself, or do I get the pressing things done on my to-do list, right? They're both important, but what choice are you making? Okay, so then you have smaller choices, like, I want this, I don't want this, or proactive, reactive. So like a proactive, reactive choice would be someone says something that you don't agree with and you're reactive to it. Maybe you blame, or you're complaining, or you're saying that's not right or just. That's a reactive choice versus a proactive choice, which would be like, who do I want to be in relationship with this? I would like to let that, roll off my back, water off a duck's back. So we have small choices in how we think and react, behave. We have medium-sized choices and we have large choices. And these are habits. These are, generally speaking, we're not bringing conscious attention to every single choice we're making all throughout the day. We're working habitually, okay? And these habits are conditioned and they live in our body-mind complex, okay? Our whole self. And when I say that, I'm talking about we have conditioned reactions. Our body knows when we work out every day, when we wake up, when we go to sleep. It wants the coffee at a particular time. It wants the hormonal kick at a particular time. It wants the sugar hit in the afternoon. And if you don't go get those cookies at 4 p.m., then your body starts going, hey, think about the cookies. Look at the cookies. The cookies are over there. Have you eaten the cookies yet? Go get the cookies. You just one cookie. One cookie's not so bad. Just go get that one cookie. If you want to change the cookie habit, which I'm not saying that you need to, but if that is a big goal for you, then you need to recognize that your body is conditioned as well as your mind and your thinking. Sometimes, often, mostly, really, most people have an experience that there is shortage in their lives. There's scarcity of time in their lives. And this looks like, I'm so overwhelmed. I have so much work to do. I can't because I got to do this instead. I'm so busy. I'm so tired. I can't get ahead. All of that. Okay. Yet, like we spoke about already, everyone has the same 24 hours in the day. So, and you know this too for yourself. Even if often you have really overwhelmed days, you also have had the experience of being in the flow and having in the flow day. So you know that your experience of time can change. You can have a different experience of it. It's not time that's changing. It's you that's changing. It's you that's being different. It's you that is interacting with yourself and the world differently. Okay, time is just like, here it is. It's time. In fact, the truth is there's only the present moment. We create as a mental construct the past and the future. So how do we live? How do we achieve exactly what we want to create, our desired ends, when we have this split attention with a limited amount of time, right? So the split attention comes from thinking, oh, I don't have enough time for this. So we jump from one thing to another. We focus here, we focus here, we focus here, we focus here, and we don't go laser focused. We try and jump around, okay? So first we need to recognize, here's the first thing that we need to recognize, that there is a false premise here that we're going to run out of time. It's just a false premise. Yes, you will eventually pass away, not be in this physical form anymore, but you will be in a spiritual form, okay, where you'll be in all time in no time, if you will, okay? All time and no time. Okay, so the first premise that's false that we need to recognize is that we're going to run out of time. Time keeps coming. Have you ever not experienced the next present moment? You're always here. You're always here in this moment. Time is always here, okay? Yet you also, let's acknowledge, all of us experience time scarcity. We have deadlines, okay? We have urgency. We're late for an appointment. We have in this 3D world an experience of not enough time and running out of it. So what gives? What gives are our choices, particularly how we decide to spend our time and how we think about time. So the choices are around how we decide to spend our time and how we think about time. If we think we don't have enough time to do what we desire, we will always be in time scarcity. Those two things are a vibrational match. If you think you don't have enough time, you will always be in time scarcity, okay? Because we live in a vibrational universe, okay, where we get exactly what we're in vibrational harmony with, okay? Now, it's not the vibrational harmony of, I want to have more time. That's a conscious thought, but it's the come from feeling. It's the essence of that, of what's behind that, which is, I don't have enough time and I want to have more time, right? Like the essence of it is this time scarcity, and that's what's emanating. And that's what you'll be in a vibrational harmony with, and that's what you'll go more of, okay? So it's what you're thinking and what you're feeling, okay? You can have a conscious thought that is neutral or positive and not have that scarcity feeling underneath it, or you can have a thought that is with a feeling of scarcity behind it. It's that combination of the feeling and the thought that has you emanating and vibrating in a particular way. Okay. So you will constantly and consistently get matched by what that is and experience time scarcity. Okay. So not only that, but that time scarcity then emanates a general energy, vibration, frequency of scarcity. Okay. And this will seep into all aspects of your life. And you will feel in general that, maybe it's showing up in your health, right? I don't have enough good health, or I don't have enough good relationships, or I don't have enough good connection, or I don't have enough love in my life or money in my life. Maybe it's the things, maybe it's the cars and houses and all of that, right? Friends who get you. But there's a seeping out of this. Maybe not in all areas of your life. You'll start thinking, oh yeah, I have scarcity here, and I have scarcity here, and I have scarcity here. And look at that. Wow. That's trippy. Okay. So pick one area. I'm talking about time scarcity right now because it seems to be incredibly prevalent, especially for achiever women. Okay, let's get real honest here. As achiever women, we're always like trying to maximize what we're doing with our time. And then we're wondering, where's the spaciousness in my life? Where is the ease, the flow, the love, the connection, the feeling lit up? We think that if we achieve a lot in the limited amount of time that we have right this moment, that we will hurry up and get it all done, and then we can have our goodies. But it doesn't work that way. You just get more of not enough, more of the never-ending to-do list, more of feeling like you haven't accomplished enough, more of needing to do more, because that is the energy that you're emanating. Okay, so if what you think about determines what you feel, and your thinking, feeling together determine your frequency, then if you're thinking and feeling that you don't have enough time, then you'll be matched by that. That's the law of vibration, okay? Yet, that's your situation, right? Oh, okay, Amira, well, I see what you're saying, and yep, that's where I'm at. Your 3D reality looks something like that. Maybe not all the time, okay? Maybe you've evolved quite a bit on this front, and you've done your work to figure out how to do things differently. But wherever you're at, you probably desire more spaciousness and more ease and more flow and less pressure. And yet you're also thinking, okay, well, I don't know how to exist without that urgency and that pressure, right? Like I've achieved in my life so greatly by having that pressure. How do I create differently? Okay, how do you change? That's really the question here. The first thing that I started to do here was to make different choices. So that's back to the beginning of the conversation today. Different choices from the place, here's the important piece, from the place I wanted to be. Now, this was one of the biggest concepts that I integrated into my life when I was really making big changes, big leaps in who I was being. So making decisions from the place I want to be. Okay, if I want, in this case, if I want to have a more spacious life, I have to make decisions from a place of spaciousness. Okay, that means I can't say yes to that appointment when I want spaciousness on that day. Okay, I can't say, I can't say no to them. I have to do this if I want spaciousness in my life. I can't say, yes, I want to do the 50 marketing initiatives when I have energy and time for one with spaciousness, right? You have to make different choices, and you have to make it from the place you want to be, okay? And I will tell you, I went kicking and screaming for sure. Like my body, mind, ego didn't see how I was going to be able to run a multi-million-dollar business and have spaciousness. And if you work inside of a firm, inside of someone else's company, the same thing applies to you. Like, how can I have this career, this role in this company and have spaciousness when the environment seems to demand me to behave like this. My clients seem to demand me being like this. Like they expect me to show up in a particular way. I work with a lot of clients on this. And there is there's a door or there's an avenue out. So I promise you. But just like you, I was like, I don't see a way. I don't know how I'm going to actually do this differently. And quite frankly, this was me wanting to not let go of my then current, now old self, right? Like that was my identity, my self-image, my who I knew myself to be. And the whole construct of my mind, body, subconscious wasn't wanting to let go of that. It felt unsafe. If it only knows, if we only know, if our subconscious only knows one way of doing things, the existing way, the way up until now, and you're consciously choosing, saying, I want to be different, it's gonna push back because it thinks if you change, we haven't experienced that change and survive. So that might not be survivable. That might equal death. Your subconscious is going to say, no way, don't do that. I'm going to put up all sorts of barriers to having you change, because that we don't know if you're going to survive, and its role is to keep you alive. So in order to truly move through this, I had to make small, consistent choices. Like I had to keep present my desire for spaciousness and make small, consistent, ongoing choices, not all at once. Okay, I will not BS you. I did not flip a switch and say, I flipped a switch in a decision I made, but I had to keep making that choice again and again and again. And it took a period of 3D time to do that. Now, how much time did it take? Small compared to the number of years that I had lived. Whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, you've lived that length of time. It probably took me a year, maybe 2 years to really master this. And honestly, there's still times where I'm working on it because it's an ever level. Like I thought I'd never get to this level of spaciousness, and now I want even more spaciousness. So it's ongoing. But having mastered this took maybe 1 or 2 years. But what is that compared to the next 30, 40, 50 years of your life? Is that worth the investment in paying attention? I would say yes. But you're going to fight it like I fought it, because our conditioning, our habitual self, our conditioned self really wants to have it be the old way or the existing way. So the things that I did are the classic things that you learn in business, but I just did it from the place I wanted to be at a much higher level. So that's delegation, that's removing tasks from my world, like just deleting them. That was deferring, saying, I'll do that later. And what I found when I did that, which was mind-blowing, is that a lot of things just didn't need to be done. It was like I was making work for myself to satisfy my ego. And it forced like other people to do things, or things wouldn't get done, and nothing fell apart. That was amazing to find out. Now, that took discernment. There were certain things, obviously, that I felt like, okay, we really do need to do that, or I need to get that done. But it was so much less than what I previously thought. And I had to really be rigorous with myself. Oh, I think this is an emergency. I really have to do this. Just like, what if it wasn't an emergency? What if it just didn't get done? Okay. And I had to make some different choices there. And then I did stuff also. Okay. But a lot less. And I kept testing and tweaking, and I built up my belief that I could do less, do more potent things, spend time on more of the things that I really wanted to spend time on, and less of the busy. I had to build up my belief in that by doing it, by making different choices, having the experience, doing more, moving the needle on that. And I was able to consistently do that because I wanted it, and I wanted it badly. Okay? Wanted it more than my need to stay comfortable, because it will be uncomfortable to change. Okay. If you say you want it intellectually, oh, I'd love to have more time, right? Then vibrate, act, be in resistance to that. So the choice comes up. Someone asks you, your boss, your client, your team says, can you go to this meeting, or can you come on this offsite, right? And you are attached to that. And maybe the offsite is the really most important thing, but you have already planned your anniversary, right? Something like that. You may need to make a different choice and say, hey, I can do it, but I need to push it 3 days, or I need to push it a week, right? If you don't make those hard choices that force you to confront who you're being, you won't change. Okay. It will just be an intellectual awareness, but it won't be on the field of play making the change. And nothing changes for you until you actually do the thing differently, act differently. And then you become a different person and you don't die. And you're like, oh my God, wow. Now you have to do that again and again and again and again. But when you do that consistently, you create yourself as a new human, someone who's able to achieve, able to have the real success in her life, without this grind, without this push, without this feeling this struggle, and then I can exhale. Rather, oh, you can have this flow. And then you have a much happier experience with time. There's less time scarcity. Okay, so just to reiterate, you have to want the new, the time spaciousness, more than you want to have the attachment to the old. Okay? And one additional thought here on this. Be aware of the places where you catch yourself in the internal complaint. I don't have enough time. I'll never get ahead. I can't get my to-do list done. I'm so behind. I'm so exhausted. That is you reinforcing the time scarcity. Change that thinking. Change the voice in your head to that which you desire. Ask a better question. Be the person who says, oh, if I want to have spaciousness today, how would I need to create my day differently? Okay. And go in that direction. The ego is going to be really active here. Okay. So when you say, I don't have enough time, or I'm so overwhelmed, or I'm so busy, or I'm so behind, you have attachment to being that person. Okay. That's what I'm calling ego attachment. And wait for it. This is important. Listen up. You are giving yourself kudos and attention for that. It's taking up a lot of space in your head. You're getting a lot of attention for that. And energy flows where attention goes. Okay. Now, this is a big aha because your attention is on it. Okay. And you are giving your attention to scarcity, to running out of time, to not having enough. That's where you are putting your energy. You are actually, by going unconscious here and not making better choices in your thinking, you are putting your energy where that attention is. You're putting your energy into the complaint, into the scarcity, and you're going to just keep getting more and more of that. So that's a bit of a head slap, right? How many years have you been engaged in that? Like when I realized that, I was like, oh my goodness, wow. It's like focusing on the hole in the donut instead of the donut, okay? What experiences do you actually want to put your attention on? If you choose not to put your attention and your energy on the scarcity, you will create a vacuum where you have more time to put your energy on that which you want, okay? So how much energy are you putting in the scarcity? And then, like, how much could you shift to what you want? This is like, instead of Netflix, meditation. Now, I love me some Netflix, so don't you worry. I'm not saying all or nothing. But like, if you cut out the time scarcity thinking and instead you put that energy, that attention and energy onto what you want, suddenly you have so much more time, okay? So there's 2 or 3 options to how you do this. You can, well, let's call them, let's say 2 at first. can spread your new energy / attention to lots of the different things that you want: better health, taking the business or the career in this direction, the family and friends, the building your exquisite life. Like, you could put your attention in a lot of different places, okay? Or you could laser focus your attention on one area. The advantage of the laser focus is that, like a laser, there's a lot of power in that focus, okay? You have more momentum and energy and power and intensity when you laser focus, okay? When you spread your attention out, all the things in your life get some attention. So you're not ignoring things. So that's that advantage, okay? Now, there's a third advantage, which is a combination of the two. And this is really where I like to play. I have one main area where I'm putting my attention, and then I'm not forgetting about the other ones. And then once I feel like I've mastered this, then I can add to it. And I'm all about growing our capacity as well. So you shift your attention from the complaint to the desire, okay? And you can put your attention, that freed up energy, towards the places that you want: the intimacy, the hotter sex, the greater friendships, the bigger connection, the what are you doing next in your life, right? The question of purpose or meaning, or what you want to build next, or how you want to build it. You free up yourself, okay? And you can stay filling your time with the old stuff, and the falsehood about time scarcity here is really that it's not about the time scarcity. It's about your desire to deflect your attention from the things in your life that really need your attention, to deflect from the things that you might not feel confident in approaching, or you don't know the how, or they feel like a zero-sum game, or like you one or the other, and you don't see the answer. And so instead of I'm creating space so I can look at that and figure that out, I fill the space with time scarcity and fill the space with stuff to do generically. And that creates time scarcity. It's a deflection technique, okay? So this is the way the ego, the subconscious mind, pushes back. And you have to make the choices about who you want to be and what you really want, and stay consistent and draw a line in the sand about that for yourself. I believe that this can happen in a relatively short period of time compared to your entire life. Like I mentioned previously, it's really important to understand it's not an overnight thing. Lots of times we get discouraged because we're so confident in these areas of our life, but over here we feel like I'll never make progress, or I've never been successful. So we don't give it our attention, and therefore we can never really make progress, and it fulfills that self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It fulfills that prophecy. So instead, allow yourself, make it a priority, but allow yourself some time to create that. And most people won't, okay? Most people won't. They'll feel too uncomfortable in the process, so they'll stay in deflection mode, and they'll stay in the vibration of time scarcity. Don't be one of those people. Be different. Be the model. Be the person who does it differently, who creates the life that she actually wants, creates that exquisite life. That's what I'm staking a claim for here. I'm staking a claim for you creating the life that you desire. And part of that is giving yourself the spaciousness to think about it, the spaciousness to actually delve into what you truly desire and not deflect yourself from it. I'm Amira Alvarez. I am the founder and CEO of The Unstoppable Woman. I am staking a claim for you having an exquisite life, and we will be rolling out the Exquisite Life Plan event shortly. So please keep your eyes and ears open for that. And I just wish you the most expansive and spacious life ever. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a loyal listener. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. It really helps us get this message out to all the women who need to hear it. Okay, with that, have a great and unstoppable day. Be well. Mwah.